everybody. This is Light the Dark, and we're back again with another banger!
We're here today with another video for you guys. This video really hits home to Elise J and myself because we both suffer from clinical depression and other mental illnesses, and we have all our lives. During this pandemic, with all of us having to self-quarantine and with all of us having to sit at home basically, it seems like our depression and our other mental health symptoms seem like they're increasing.
Because of the worldwide increase of mental health issues, we decided to come up with a video about mental illness awareness during the pandemic. We will be discussing 10 topics on how to cope with mental illness during this time. If you're interested in any of these topics, please check down below in the description box and we'll have links to the sources that we are talking about.
So before we get into this video, don't forget to drop us a like and hit that subscribe button.
And don't forget to click that bell. That way you can be notified of all our new content. Peace.
Activities like writing, drawing, and poetry can evoke a sense of catharsis.
Now, Biz, I know about catharsis, but can you tell our subscribers in English, please?
Sorry about that, guys. I want this video to actually help you guys out, not leave you feeling like you needed a dictionary. Catharsis is a sense of feeling like you got rid of emotional baggage.
I understand that completely. Every time I'm singing or writing in my journal or even writing a song, I feel the weight lifted off my shoulders immediately.
Yep, and it's the same way for me. When I write some poetry or write a song or edit one of these videos, it feels like the boulder on my shoulder becomes a feather.
Abyss, maybe we all need to be more creative. Maybe it's time to turn our frowns upside down. Now, the second coping skill is very obvious to Abyss and myself. If you suffer from depression and you don't have a pet, you really should consider getting you a pet, because pets are awesome. Like, they're the best companions when you're sad or when you're lonely or depressed and you need somebody. Pets can really sense that, and they're always there to snuggle on you. Even if they get on your nerves, it makes you feel great in the end.
Whether you're a cat or a dog person, or even a bird or a fish or a turtle person, the benefits to having pets are clear. Not only do they give you a sense of responsibility, but they can make you feel less isolated by bonding with you. When you cure the loneliness, you just might cure the depression.
So make sure you get a pet. You'll be surprised how good loving an animal can make you feel.
A lot of the time, depression can be caused by something as simple as restlessness. And during this pandemic, I'm sure we've all been guilty of being restless at times. It can be as easy as doing a little exercise to get some relief. Wait! Don't exit this video yet. I don't like doing exercise any more than the next man or woman does, but there's some simple routines that we're going to tell you about that can get you rested better in no time.
Breathing and cardio exercises are really good for burning energy, such as squats, running in place, jumping jacks, taking a jog around the block, walking, or even yoga. But you don't have to go in hardcore for it to be effective. Take your time. Baby steps is the key. Please let us know down in the comments box if you'd like to see a video of us showing you some different exercise routines for depression.
And there will be a link down in the description to an exercise page, basically the one that we got these ideas from. So check it out.
Check it out. Being bored is the most common cause of depression. During this pandemic, there's nothing to do, so you'll be bored more often and you'll be more depressed, more lethargic and more depressed, and it'll just be a back and forth cycle. So we, Abyss and myself, have decided to come up with a few hobbies that we can do to fight our depression.
Like they say, idle hands are the devil's playground, and during this COVID-19 madness, there's an awful lot of idle hands. Myself, I started out really depressed at the beginning of this pandemic, and then I started playing PlayStation 4, going in hard on these videos, and pretty soon, a lot of my depression abated.
And I've also started working on videos as well as coloring. Like, for instance, adult coloring books, which is really good for anxiety and depression, keeps your mind going, and also collecting books or even collecting jewelry and clothing.
The point is, with all these different hobbies, we really don't have much time to be depressed. If you're depressed, you should give it a try. What do you got to lose? A lot of depression affects those with low self-esteem. Thoughts like I'm ugly, or I'm fat, or I'm dumb, or any other thought of inferiority that might be swirling around in your head, well, that might make you feel pretty crappy, you know? Doing things that boost your self-esteem can work wonders for this type of depression. And it's not as hard as you might think.
And trust me, for all them ladies out there, it definitely works. Before I met Abyss, I had no self-esteem at all. I did not love myself, and I didn't value myself. But after I met Abyss, he had made a really big difference in my life. He constantly encouraged me by giving me positive affirmations like, you're amazing, you can do this, you got this, big girls rock. Those affirmations allowed me to then pamper myself, take better care of myself, like dressing up, doing my hair, learning about my natural hair, embracing my natural hair. You know what I mean? Wearing jewelry. And the more I continued to do that, the more I felt really good about myself and I became happier. And if you continue to do that, it definitely works.
If you really want to kill that depression, all you really got to do is love yourself. And you should. You're awesome.
This next coping skill kind of go hand in hand with being creative. Sometimes when you have all that pent up frustration or that anger, it's always good to release your emotions on paper. This is a really good essential coping skill because sometimes you could be not only a danger to yourself, but society. When I was a child, my doctor always told me to keep a journal, and it helped.
True. They told me the same thing. After you write it down, you should go back and take a look at some of the stuff you wrote down. You'll never believe how ridiculous some of the things are that you write down whenever you're angry. Keeping a journal is one of the first ways I realized I was an artist.
Same here. I've been writing songs since I was in middle school, and it really helps. So you're hearing this from two severe mentally ill people who have depression. It works.
Another common cause for depression during this pandemic is a lack of control of one's own environment. Think about it. You can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. You're just totally out of control. Believe me, I know how that feels. It's freaking horrible. I'm going to let Elise J tell you some of the coping skills we have for this.
Now before I tell y'all this, please remember I'm only suggesting this because it really helps us. Cleaning and organizing your home is really good for mental health and your depression. For instance, my personal experience. When I clean my house and I organize everything in a certain way, I slowly begin to gain control, and most importantly, I regain my energy back. I'm a very lethargic person. When I'm depressed, I get lethargic, and it just goes hand in hand. I don't want to do anything. But if you force yourself to get up and do something every day, just a little bit, even if you just clean your bathroom or clean your kitchen, your energy slowly begins to balance itself. So the more you start to clean every day, maybe one day you do a little bit, then the next day you add on top of that, your energy starts to become more and more profound, and then you have some type of balance. So try it. I guarantee you it'll work.
So if you're feeling hopeless and you're feeling out of control during this pandemic, just get up and clean your nasty house.
Abyss!
Just kidding, y'all.
When I'm sad, anxious, or depressed, I can think of one thing that's going to help me above all the others. And I think my husband knows what that is.
Which one is that, my angel?
What else, babe? Music. I figured you knew what I meant.
I did, Puka, but I wanted you to tell our audience.
I was going to get to this, but music really helps me. I love to sing, so singing really uplifts my spirit. I've been singing ever since I was 4 years old. So singing is definitely a really good coping skill. You may not know how to sing, so other things like listening to music, maybe even dancing may be your thing.
True indeed, beautiful. Starting with just poetry in middle school, Elise and I have both been making music since we were just little kids. I kept moving forward with it, and I started trying to make beats, so I played with that, and I started trying to make poetry, which turned into writing raps.
We can't even fathom to tell you how music has saved us from depression. Try listening to some uplifting music, woke music that is, and see how that helps you.
You may be surprised. During both times of happiness and depression, you should monitor your own thoughts. The more you know how to monitor your own thoughts, the better you'll be able to cope. I noticed a long time ago that if I recognized my depression for what it was, a chemical imbalance in my brain, that I'd be a whole lot better off.
Believe my husband, guys, he is telling the truth. The more you use this coping mechanism, the more it works. Slowly and surely, you'll discover more about yourself and also your disease.
Tell him, babe.
This last skill helps with learning your own thoughts, and then you understand what triggers your thoughts. In fact, most of the skills that we are covering in this video will help you to achieve that, and I guarantee you it will set you on a path from sadness to freedom.
When you learn what makes you depressed, it becomes much easier to walk away from it. I admit there are times when it may be difficult to walk away. Sometimes a family member or a close friend can be what's a trigger for you. It can be really tough leaving behind those people, or at least distancing yourself. But remember, this is your mental well-being. In the long run, it's for the best.
Unfortunately, we can't cure your depression, but using these tools might be a good source of help for you.
If you need our advice, feel free to talk to us in the comments. This platform is open to discussion. Our #1 objective is to turn your frown upside down.
Team Mac has come to light the dark. Peace.